Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. Speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And in this video, I'm continuing my listing rankings of every single Beatles song. I'm now up to 116 on my list. I'm going to go through 4 Beatles songs in this video, 116 to 113, and cover that until I get to, I'm going to do 4 until I get to 100, and then I'll go back to 5. 5 Beatles songs in a video. Now I'm getting to 116. I've been categorizing, kind of putting these songs into tier lists, and I'm now going up to the next tier, which I call good Beatles songs. I went through, the first one was I think are bad Beatles songs, and then I went through a lot of songs that I went into the okay Beatles song tier. And so now I'm getting to the songs I think are really, really good Beatles songs that I really love listening to. And these are songs that I will put on playlists to listen to when I'm thinking of my favorite Beatles songs. And, songs that I will listen to many times on the albums, that kind of thing. So, and of course, when I talk about a good Beatles song, I mean, a good Beatles song is a really, really good song compared to other bands. Other bands have, good songs, but even their good songs don't compare to the Beatles' good songs, in my opinion. And I'm already at 116, so I tell you, no other band has 116 good songs, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, that's just my opinion, but a lot of even really good bands or musicians coming up with 20 good songs is hard to do. I mean, that's just how incredible the Beatles are, in my opinion, is that they could have 116 songs I just absolutely love to listen to. Anyways, in the next, there'll be quite a bit of songs on this tier, and then the last tier would be the great Beatles songs. So I even go one up higher and say, these are the good Beatles songs, which are really good songs for anybody. But then the great Beatles songs is the greatest songs ever written and ever recorded, in my opinion. So let's go to 116 on my list, which is the song I'm Looking Through You, which comes on the Rubber Soul album, written and sung by Paul McCartney. From what I researched, Paul kind of wrote this. He was angry at Jane. Jane Asher was his longtime girlfriend and fiance at one time. Obviously, they never got married. But this is one of his first major relationships that, when you read about the Beatles or listen about the Beatles, that is explored. And a lot of songs were written for Jane Asher during this time period, until they eventually, of course, broke up, and then he eventually moves on. It's interesting looking at this. Jane Asher is not an actress that is well known here in America, I guess, but she was an actress and a young actress, like pretty young actress in the UK. And I guess she must have been in TV shows or something, and had somewhat of a celebrity. Of course, not at near the level of Paul McCartney, who was a huge, huge celebrity at this point. But it seems like he was angry with Jane that she was putting her career before his. I think there was this idea, especially for the Beatles, especially anybody that's maybe famous, and maybe it's like an old-fashioned idea is that, when you're in a relationship, the girl gives up her career for the guy, and kind of becomes a housewife or whatever, or, makes time for him and kind of, I think that's kind of an idea at this time. And Paul McCartney kind of wanted Jane to, pay more attention to him and his career. But of course, she still had an acting career that she wanted to continue. And I think that was frustrating Paul, that she was off doing her thing and she wasn't with him, which he thought was more important, I think, which is a very selfish, of course, idea. And that's why the relationship eventually didn't work. And I think that's why a lot of celebrity relationships never work. I mean, you look at the divorce rate amongst celebrities who actors and actresses marry, they never work out. They last a couple years and that's a divorce. Because it's really hard to you have to put, if you have two people with careers that they want to, big careers that they want to continue and they're not together, it's not going to work out. And to say that one person needs to give up their career to help, support them, that's very hard to do. And that's why a lot of times you want to put your career ahead of the other person in those situations, which is happening here. And I think, well, I even read like George Harrison. He married Patty Boyd, whatever. She was like a model. I remember reading a biography on him, and it was kind of the same idea where he wanted her to quit her modeling career and have children and raise them and be a housewife. And that was kind of just the old fashioned maybe idea, or the idea when you're a big celebrity like a Beatle. I'm looking through you. Yeah, very good song off the Rubber Soul album. Great guitar part. Has a really good part there. I really enjoy. And lyrically, of course, it's a very harsh song. You listen to it, I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Um, you're still something, but something's changed. There's all this ideas of like, I'm looking through you because you're not the same person that used to be, which is a pretty harsh thing to say to somebody that, like, hey, I'm the same person, but, and I think some of us have felt that way about our relationships with other people, is that it's like, I'm still the same person, but yeah, there's something wrong with you, and you're not the same, you've changed, and all this, and it's kind of going through that, kind of angrily, like I said, against Jane Asher. So interesting lyrics, I would say. In the song, and yeah, so it's a very enjoyable song off Rubber Soul. I'm looking through you at number 116. Number 115, I have Martha My Dear, which comes off the White Album. Another Paul McCartney song. Of course, we all know famously Martha. It's like, who's Martha? It sounds like a girl, that you might be in love with, but of course, Martha is actually the name of Paul's sheepdog. And you look at anything about that song, you see a picture of this huge sheepdog that he had, um, named Martha, and he, of course, fan of dogs, I suppose. And you see him like at a Scottish home with dogs. Um, and from my research, it said that Jane, again, this is of course coming after Rubber Soul. Jane was breaking up with Paul at this time, which I don't know if that has much to do with the song, but that's kind of the mindset he was in at the time. It seems like when he wrote the song. But yeah, really nice song. I love the piano. It has a great piano piece, especially the beginning part. That's, from what I've heard, is a very difficult piece to play. Like not just anybody can pick up that piece. Like you have to be pretty good at getting that piano, whatever you want to call it, riff together. And overall, Paul McCartney, really good lyrics. It's a very simple song. Not a lot of the other Beatles are coming in on the song. It seems almost more, of course, the White Album. The songs feel almost more like solo songs. This definitely feels like almost like a Paul McCartney solo song in that sense. But yeah, very, I don't know if I'd say underrated song, but very nice song, I think, from Paul. At 115, Martha My Dear. At number 114, I have kind of an obscure, somewhat song that you don't think about, but I really enjoy. It's called Long, Long, Long. And is written, sung by George Harrison. Again, another song off the White Album. White Album, of course, had 30 songs, so it was kind of an album that you can put on any song. You don't have to be a big hit song. It's just, he had so much room to put out any material that you had at that time. And even a song like Long, Long, Long might not have made other albums, but I'm glad it made, they made the White Album. It made that album. It's a very underrated song to me. I really enjoy it. George says that the chords were inspired by a Bob Dylan song. It's called Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, is where you got the idea of the song. It's a very laid-back song. Kind of a slow-paced song, but very, I think, beautiful. And I actually enjoy the music quite a bit. I enjoy the guitar part. It has an interesting sound to it. And George's or I should say, vocals are really good. And I love the long, long, when he kind of really elongates the long on the chorus, I guess you want to say, and hits those high notes. Actually sounds really, really good. And it sounds like a love song, of course, and this happens with George a lot. He likes to write these songs that sound like love songs. He's talking about like longing for something, maybe longing for a lover or something like that. But he says that was actually about God, longing for God, which he was very, of course, spiritual at this point, and as you want to say, really into the Hindu religion. And so he was really into the seeking God kind of part of his life. Definitely was in the four force here. And so he's talking about longing for God, I guess, here, long, long, long. But yeah, very just really kind of a song that surprised me when I remember when I one time I was listening to the White Album and the song came out. I'm like, what's this song? I never heard this song before, and I was listening, going, wow, this is actually a pretty good song. I don't know why I've never really listened to it before, and ever since it's a song I definitely always would love to talk about, like underrated Beatles songs. Long, Long, Long is one of them I love to talk about and say it's actually a pretty good song. I don't think it's very long. I said it sounds like more like a George Harrison solo song. A fairly simple song, but very enjoyable. I love the laid backness of it. So at 114, that was Long, Long, Long. Last song I'm going to talk about in this video is at number 113. And this is actually, I'm talking about later Beatles songs. This is actually off the first album, and it's Do You Want to Know a Secret? This came off Please Please Me in the UK. In the US, we had Introducing the Beatles, had the song on it. It's a Lennon McCartney song, but George sings it, and it's maybe the first song that George sings on an album. I'm forgetting what else he might have sung on that album, but before he started writing really his own music. And so Lennon McCartney usually writing music for him. And this was a song they wrote and gave to him. It was mostly written by John from what I've read. Of course, because it's called Do You Want to Know a Secret, which I don't know, I enjoy the whole idea behind the song. He's talking to this girl, do you want to know a secret? Come closer. I promise not to tell. I'm in love with you is, of course, the secret. It's like trying to tell someone, I have this thing I want to tell you, but I'm almost afraid to tell you, but, I don't want anybody else to know this, but, I love you, kind of thing. And it's interesting when you think about John, because at this time he was, this was not too long after he married Cynthia. Cynthia got pregnant, was his girlfriend at the time. She got pregnant, so the thing you do at that time is you get married when you get someone pregnant. It seems to be the right thing to do. And so, but it was somewhat of a secret at the time, because I think it was their manager, Brian Epstein, maybe it was his idea that we want the four Beatles to feel like they're available to women. That'll make women more likely, to buy their albums or go to their concerts or be more bigger fans. That if they thought they were married, they weren't available, that they would be kind of put off by that. So they thought they had a bigger chance with fans if they acted like John wasn't married. And so John kind of had to keep that secret that he was actually married to a girl named Cynthia, and they kind of had to keep that secret for a little bit. I don't know how long they kept it. It'd probably be a hard secret to keep for very long. Anyway, so it kind of seems like maybe that's the idea behind the song, is he was thinking about Cynthia, and I don't know if that's for sure, but it might be that he was thinking about Cynthia and that he's keeping the secret that he was married to her. Anyways, and maybe came up with this idea of a song, kind of keeping the secret that he's secretly in love with this person. Anyways, and but yeah, I love the guitar. The guitar part's actually really good. Dun 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 dun. And I just like the song is all about, hey, I got the secret, come closer. It's like you're waiting for the reveal, and finally, I'm in love with you. Ooh. I love that when he reveals, what the secret is, and kind of goes a little harder. But listen, do do do. Love the backing vocals on that, and just overall, a really solid song. Actually, one of my favorite songs on Please Please Me. I've heard some people put that down as like one of the least favorite songs on the album. Anyways, and I never stood actually quite enjoy that song. Why I put the Please Please album so high on my top 100 favorite albums list, or I put it in there, maybe higher than other people, because there's songs like that I think people underappreciate that I really enjoy. I do love George's delivery of the songs. He definitely, especially early on, really you can hear his Liverpoolian accent in the song. I think Sam St. John, another YouTuber, has a YouTube channel. Him and Rich Strickler went over this album, Please Please Me, and he mentions, I think, many times that you can really hear George's accent in the songs more than the other Beatles, and especially this song, listen, I don't know, you kind of hear this interesting accent there. Do you want to know a secret? I don't know, it's just some kind of interesting accent in there that he can't hide. But I enjoy quite a bit on the song, and it's a song that makes me think of like being in junior high and having a crush on a girl, and you want to go talk to her, but you're afraid because You know, what if they don't like you, and then that's really humiliating. And you go in and you kind of, you know, flirt with them and see if there's any interest there. And if there isn't, then you abort the mission, get out of there. It's not going to work. But if they're flirting back, you think maybe there's a chance they might like me, and I can ask them out, you know. So the song kind of reminds me of that junior high school days. I think it's kind of the feeling it's supposed to give, of, you know, having that secret, but you're afraid to tell the girl that you like her, kind of thing. So I don't know. It's a song I really enjoy. And that's at number 113, Do You Know a Secret? So that's my video today for Beatles songs in my rankings of all the Beatles songs. And just feel free to comment what you think about these 4 songs, and if they're enjoyable, if they're underappreciated, overrated, whatever. Love to see the comments, what you think. And just thank you everybody for watching this video and for liking it. And I just want to thank all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you have a good day.